All right. This is a game of Pike and Shot, and I think it's, what, 6 or 7 years in the making? Because I think literally the first time I ever stepped foot in this basement, the Covenanter army was up on the shelf up there, and I was like, ooh, Scottish. I want to do them. And that was roughly 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is our first game. My last name's Campbell. Clearly I'm doing Scottish Covenanters. And where able, there's actual Campbells involved. I'll go through my list real quick. There's not really a points value. We're just checking everything we have painted on the table. I've got a unit of Highlanders here. Another unit of Highlanders there. I've got, this is I think the Seaforth unit. Sunderland and Mackenzie's. I've got a medium gun over here. In my center, I've got a unit of Pike and Shot here. The shot's back here. The plan is to, when I move out into the open ground here, is to kind of get the shot units out in front. This is the Roach unit with out in front. A little bit of a backstory is that's potentially Scott's actual ancestor, but he's playing for the good guys, aka my team. So my plan is to rush him forward so that it's the first unit he gets to shoot at. Backing them up, I've got another unit of Pike and Shot. This is Mungo Campbell of Lawyers unit. And Scott kindly painted up this Bloody Miniatures model up there as Mungo Campbell per the, what is it? It's that Peter Dennis painting?
Yeah, out of the
Osprey book.
Old Dean campaign book.
Yeah. So I've got the model in the right pose and all that. I've got another commander here. So this is the commander for my center unit. This is one of my ancestors here, Duke of Argyll. Overall command is Alexander Leslie, Old Sandy. It's not the correct model, because the correct model he's just holding his hip like an idiot. So I was like, nah. Used the one holding up the sword and the Scottish standard bearer model there. And then for my cavalry wing, I've got 2 light guns, a unit of horse, and then a unit of reavers. So these guys are actually light cavalry and skirmish. So they go further than other cavalry, which should be interesting. I've got Fraser's firelocks. They're going to have to skirmish to get past here and kind of guard my flank. So that's my list. Scott, what do you got?
Yeah, so I'm not quite as versed in my list at the moment. I'm sort of still in the process of putting them together, as you can see.
Well, that's the thing, is you just got back. You didn't want to haul these back from the UK with the pikes on them, or based. So I understand.
While I'm studying in the UK, my weekends is painting to catch up. So I painted these sort of since November last year to now. So at the moment I've got, there's a couple of units here that, so one of the Oxford regiments, that's these guys in purple. The Newcastle regiment, which is these guys in white.
Hang on.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. These guys here?
Yeah. That's these guys in white, although I think I've got the command bases mixed up.
Yeah, I think you do too.
So
no big deal?
No big deal. Let me put the Newcastle with the Newcastle command. Put the Oxford with the Oxford.
So the Oxford are the ones in the deep purple, right?
Yeah.
Oxford blue? Okay.
Yeah. They should actually have the Oxford caps, but I didn't worry about that. Yeah, so I'm running the Earl of Montrose's army so that I can run the campaign. Dennis and I can play the campaign in northern Scotland.
Yeah.
So over on this wing, I've just got these are the lifeguards. I haven't painted the musketeers for these yet, so it's just a pike block. And then behind that there's a Pike and Shot unit, and then there's a storming party, and then 2 medium guns. Mm-hmm. And I don't have any commanders, so I'm using my Napoleonic commanders just to be command bases. And then over in the centre I've got 4 Pike and Shot blocks. Yeah. And Napoleon is my overall general, and then some British dude, probably Hill or someone, who's my centre commander. Then over my far left, I've got a unit of cuirassiers in the front, and then just a normal unit of mercenary cavalry, and of course Captain Blackadder's light Scottish dragoons.
Good old Blackadder.
And what's an army without Blackadder?
There you go.
And he was a real character.
Yeah, which I did not know. I thought I was like, oh, that's that Mr. Bean guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our very first game of Pike and Shotte. Sure, we'll do lots of mistakes, but this will be good times. Good thing I didn't actually paint more models, because it's hands across America for both of us here.
We would need another table.
Yeah, we definitely would. All right, we'll catch you after turn one, I guess.
Nasty double sixes.
Yes. So Scott got the roll to go first. You did, Scott. Just go through what you did.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. These guys just advanced, and I passed all of those movements, so they just did that. The centre here, so I did the same for the 3 units here. They moved as 1, and they just advanced 1.
Yeah.
These guys failed to move across to the side.
Yeah.
My cuirassiers moved up and out, so got 2 moves to move that way. These guys only moved 1, and these guys moved 2. There was no shooting for them or anything like that. My guns fired, they missed. Those guns fired, and I got 1 hit on the Highlanders.
On the Highlanders, which disordered them. Yeah.
Yep, took a casualty and disordered.
And then on my turn, I advanced past the Highlanders with the other Highlanders and the Seaforth. These guys rolled a 10, so couldn't do anything at all. I moved the light guns up, reformed these guys. It was going to be, I was like, he's going to charge in with cuirassiers. I want at least the guns for defensive fire, which turned out nice. The Fraser's firelocks failed to move up at all, so I had to bring my overall commander. He's not really up here. He's in this gap right here. It's just he takes up so much room. So he moved up here to get the reavers up and the light gun. Now my medium gun didn't end up hitting anything. My muskets here caused a wound over there, but in a flurry of 6s, both light guns both got hits on the cuirassiers and scored 2 wounds, so they're already at half strength, so hopefully I can do a bit more damage on my turn. Or on the next turn. They're disordered, so they're not going to be moving up ahead, so yeah. Thus ends turn 1. Alrighty, turn 2.
So the only thing I did on my right wing is I tried to move them forward. They failed.
We tried to charge, actually.
Yeah, I tried to charge. So they failed. They rolled a 10, so they stood. Then they fired into those guys, and and the guns fired in, and the guns disordered them. Yeah. These guys didn't do bugger all.
Yeah.
They missed all their 3 shots. They have first fire. Over here, I moved the front unit up and to the right, and then moved these 2 up and behind, and then they fired and they fired. These guys managed to come across. My guns managed to fire at John Roach's organisation and disordered
2 units. Yeah.
I fucking forgot to move my cuirassiers away so that they didn't keep getting shot.
Yeah, because as disorder you can move them away. Yeah.
Yeah. These guys, I've tried to move up there. They failed. And my dragoons dismounted and moved into the trees and fired at his guys that were back there. He hit them, but he saved, and that was a pretty miserable turn on my part.
Yeah, and then on my turn, I'll go from descending and work my way back. I was gonna actually charge, and then we looked at the rules for charging and decided, no, that's probably not a good idea.
Skirmishes against skirmishes.
Yeah, it'd be just a bunch of fire and evades.
Yeah.
So these guys opted to move up, take pot shots into the dragoons in the woods. I was able to... Did I disorder them? No, I didn't disorder them, but I caused a wound.
Yeah, that's all.
Fraser's firelocks actually managed to do to clear the building. They shot into here. He made his saves. The small gun moved up within 12, couldn't hit. The 2 small guns once again were able to shoot into here and did 2 more wounds. So I think
One wound. Otherwise, I'd be gone. So it disordered me. You hit me once, a 6, just a single 6.
Oh, okay.
And I failed my save.
Okay. I thought they had 4
They do.
stamina.
They do, and if you had got me twice, that's the end of it.
Oh, sorry. It
I
was
would have had
it was the
test.
first. Yeah, the first round I did 2, and then I did
Correct.
1. Yeah, so I got one
Yeah.
more to do. Over here, once again, Mongo Campbell was going to move this, and the plan was to move this unit, this battalion, in front of this disordered one to here, to open up into this nonsense, and to be able to move this wing of muskets up, and to get more shots. And of course, they rolled a 10. But over here, I was able to move the pike up, past the disordered Highlanders. And I wound up disordering the pike. Over here, despite not being able to move up, I was still able to cause some wounds and some disorders. So that's where turn 2 ends. So far, so good. You're finishing your coffee. I think it's not too early to get into the other beverages, maybe after turn 3. We'll catch you after turn 3.
Start down this end because this is where it dicked up the most.
Well,
So they didn't do anything,
That's
but they
debatable.
shot at the guns instead of these guys.
yeah.
Missed. These guys I wanted to withdraw over to here away from the guns. They failed twice, both him and the main guy. Stood there, took more cannon fire, and then because the general failed, I couldn't move them, so they stood.
And importantly, you couldn't move the general up here to remove one of the wounds.
Yeah,
So they're shaken, but you passed your test.
yeah. So I passed my test. I stood my ground, so at
your
least
ground, yeah.
at least they're still doing something.
Yeah.
My guns fired at the Roach clan again and caused disorders and some.
I love that
casualties.
you're shooting your own guy.
Yeah.
It's working beautifully.
And then these guys fired and again did disorders and casualties.
Disorder and a casualty, yeah.
Um,
Over
that's
here.
about it. And then over here, so I charged my
Storming party.
my storming party in. I got more hits on him than he did on me, but he had more support, and I eventually lost and had to test. Failed the test, rolled 4,
Shattered.
and they just friggin' fled the battlefield. And my guns tried to fire at his gun, and nothing happened. So my two flanks suck, but my center is doing okay.
Yeah, your center is pretty beefy. I got to work my way down.
Yeah.
I was able to move my pike unit up and ahead of the previously disordered Highlanders.
Yeah.
I was able to shoot and do some more wounds. Over here, I was finally able to move the wing of musket up. Shot at the wing that was here of musket. Shattered them, actually did the 2 wounds. And they rolled like a double 3. Over here, I'd caused enough to... they did a hit and caused enough to cause a test. They're shaken. I moved these guys up here to hopefully charge next turn. Over here, after that, any moves I did over here failed. So I just did some shooting. I did another wound onto the Dragoons. So at the end of turn 3, it looks like this.
Disaster. So
Yeah.
these guys fired into there, did bugger all, like a wound and a disorder. These guys managed to pull back out of the way. The guns fired, did sweet bugger all.
Well, by sweet bugger all, you did 2 wounds and a disorder over here.
Yeah, but that was the shooting, not the guns. So over here, I did
Yes,
have a unit
this is
there that fired and disordered.
Yeah.
These guys fired at the roaches and disordered and casualties. Other than that, there was nothing else. These guys then failed and they failed. My guns did better. They killed one of the light guns here, which was good, and then the other guy missed. My charge, so continued combat. So that I just came off.
Well, no. You charged in initially.
But that was the turn before. For this
No, that's
turn,
the
it was a
round
continuation. This was a continuation. Oh,
No.
No,
It was on
right.
your turn. You
in
charged
my
me.
turn, I charged.
I
Dennis
countercharged with
countercharged. He
lances.
won.
Yeah.
It rolled into his turn where it continued.
Yes.
He won both rounds, but I haven't broken. I've managed to stand my ground for both.
Yeah,
But
these
now
guys,
I'm
these
shaken.
guys rallying. They're
Yeah.
shaken.
So
to
these guys
support.
came back,
Paid
attached
off.
my commander. They got rid of the shaken, so that was good. And I lost my Blackadder Dragoons.
But before you lost your Blackadder Dragoons,
Oh.
I had my Reavers.
blundered, yeah.
All I wanted to do is move literally one guy away from his Dragoons to open up room for my Firelocks to shoot. I rolled a double 6, so they ran away over here from the Dastardly Dragoons. And then
rolled
on
a
my
double
turn,
6, and then a 1 on the blunder
and then
table.
a 1 on the blunder table. My overall commander had to then yell at the Firelocks to shoot, send them into shaken, and they ran. And on my turn, I was able to wipe out a unit here, cause a couple of wounds.
Yeah, you finally got these guys up.
Yes, finally, Mungo Campbell finally moved up, and I was able to rally off one of the wounds on the Roach Pike unit. Was at 2, now they're down to 1. So that was the end of turn 4.
Yep.
On to turn 5.
So over here, pretty much did nothing. Just shot.
A shooting
disordered.
fest.
Yeah, they shot, did nothing.
And I tried to move, but failed the order.
This was completely different. So
yeah.
these guys were disordered, so they couldn't charge, and they're disordered again. This whole unit, I moved up and charged. I took fire, which disordered the 2 wings, and then we went into combat. The result of the combat is I lost on the right, and they failed.
Shattered.
Dennis lost in the center, and
my
they
Pike
failed.
shattered.
And these guys stood,
Yeah.
both for my and Dennis's turn,
Yeah.
so that remains in place.
Yeah.
These guys all failed to move, so they just they haven't advanced.
And are now
or
disordered from my
Yep.
shooting.
We had the 2 units of cavalry. Dennis lost the combat and failed and bounced. I took more casualties than my stamina. Had to test, lost, and bounced. So the 2 cavalry units destroyed each other, which leaves just my 1 unit, which I now have to test for this
The battalion.
on the left flank.
So
And that's where we're at.
Yeah, so that was the end of turn 5. Starting at turn 6.
Yeah, Dennis creeped up his...
Yeah, I creeped up over here, and to no one's surprise, when I tried to move them up, they failed yet again. Good job, Reavers. Thanks for showing up. All right, well.
Comedy of errors. So, my last unit of my battalion did their morale test, and of course, my dice suck, so they failed, and my left wing is gone. That's still in combat. I moved these guys up who fired. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't do. They shot. They did bugger all. These guys I tried to move out here to protect. They failed. They got one
move, yeah.
Over here, so my pikeman charged his muskets, which they won. Broke them. Then they charged into the Highlanders, and I don't want to talk about that because it was...
So the amount of 6s and 5s that I rolled to hit could very well be from the distracting nature of that chick
Maggie May.
Maggie McLean.
Yeah.
Because he rolled nothing but 1s and I rolled nothing but 5s and 6s.
Yeah.
It was unreal.
It was.
And even after all that, I still only won by 1.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
So that's how it ends.
And then just a few casualties here and disorders from cannon fire and musket.
Actually, no, they're shaken. I got to take a test. They might run. They're at 3.
Oh, okay.
They have stamina of 3 or 4.
3 or 4. I thought it was 4. Oh,
I thought it was 4 too. Well, now look it up because I just rolled double 1.
Yeah.
It'll be in there.
Oh, yeah.
So while he looks that up, it was pretty bloody.
It was.
We're finding that the question we have, and maybe the people that have played, is after a combat, like everybody's disordered, and then like here, I couldn't even shoot to the side according to the rules, or to like. I found that really, really weird because I wanted to shoot at point blank range here, but because I'm disordered, I couldn't move.
Well, what we want to know is...
Could I have reformed?
So, this unit that won the melee combat, is it disordered at the end of combat? Because it's been disordered for 2 turns. I haven't been able to... It doesn't make sense.
Well, it makes sense if it was disordered from a previous tie round. I'm okay with that.
Yes, but that's 2 turns ago.
Right,
for
but
me.
when's your victory? Yeah,
Correct.
we'd have to check that.
Yeah, so like for this turn, that shouldn't be there, and I should have been able to like charge.
And likewise here, where I
Yeah.
won on this one. Yeah.
So because otherwise they're just standing there doing nothing the whole turn. Whereas I could have charged that pike into them, and they're disordered, and I could have broken. So it doesn't make sense that they just remain.
Yeah, we'll
disordered.
have to check. I mean, we were causing so much disorders, it was unreal.
I don't know. We just friggin' 6s.
Although I got to say, you had me down to one more unit. Like I would have this battalion would have broken too if you had killed one of these guns.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pause it, I guess. So we've determined that stamina of 4,
your
so
muskets,
they're okay.
your muskets are only 2. Holy crap! I thought they were 3. Your commanded shot are 3, but your muskets are 2.
Oh, so these guys are technically shaken as well.
Yeah.
Let me test for them.
Yeah, and
super quick.
same with these guys.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, they're
So
probably dead.
Yeah.
And those guys.
Yeah. Well, they're -1 for disordered, and they're -1 for
Yeah,
taking cash. Yeah.
Well, they were in combat. It was different because I was rolling my saves then.
Yeah, but they still have to test if there are 2. I thought they were 3.
No, but they're still in combat. It's like it's at
Dennis.
the end.
Yes, but they would have received the wound at the end of the last round of combat, and if they've met their stamina, they have to test. That's the whole idea.
But I did take the test as part of the break test. Now, what I should have done is...
No, that's different
Yes.
to your break
No,
test. The break
it's the
test
same.
is if you lose combat.
Yeah, but it's the same test, Scott. It's the same test. You take the test at that time, but because I'm technically shaken here, because I'm already at 2
Yep.
wounds, it would have been an extra -1 on all these tests that were ties.
Right. So they're actually shaken.
They're shaken.
They're shaken. Shaken bacon. Shaken
Yeah.
bacon. Shaken bacon.
And likewise, those guys. But anyways.
Yeah.
These guys with 2. Whatever, we're learning.
Yeah, we are. Shaken bacon, baby.
The Highlanders, they got to be more than 2. Maybe they aren't.
I don't know.
Maybe they're broken too.
I don't know. I think they're higher than that. I think they're 3. But I'll check.
Well, their armor save of 6+.
Scott's Covenant. Which army is? Oh, yeah, here we go. Highlanders 3.
I'm in a 3. Okay, so they were
Yeah,
fine.
they're 3.
I mean, they're close to breaking. But
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think, Scott?
I like it. It's good. The games I played with Andy Bartlett were a lot faster, but Andy knows
He knew
what's
the
going
rules.
on.
Yeah.
You still have to have your turn because I started and
Oh, whatever.
we're up to your turn.
Not a big
Well,
deal.
you know, lots can happen, man. You need to.
You want to go? Yeah, let's go. My turn 6.
That's right. When they have the opportunity to fucking achieve something.
Yeah, so we did
Like
my
that.
so we did my turn. I moved over here. Did not too much of consequence.
Nah,
Shot at
did
the
bugger
guns.
all.
Did nothing. Oh, we still haven't done this combat here.
Oh, we haven't either. So 3 on 3.
Yeah, we'll just do that while we.
Yeah. So
I'm shaken, so it's -1. So I'm only hitting on 5. So I only hit once. You're disordered. Same thing.
So the -1 is in combat.
Yeah.
So if you rolled a 5 and it's -1, you're a 4, but you need 5s.
Not in combat. It's 4 up.
Okay.
And I had a 5.
Yes, you
Yeah.
had a 4 and a 5. So
Yes,
you
I only got
2.
the 1. Yeah, the 4 doesn't count
Why?
because I'm disordered. Normally I think
Oh,
on
I see.
4s,
Okay,
so I
yeah.
only got 1. Yeah.
Well, you're disordered and shaken?
It's not cumulative, I don't think.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So the
It's one or the
shaken-
other.
Yes, but you get the same penalty for shaken or disordered.
Sorry, yeah, then I shouldn't have said shaken. Disordered. Anyways,
Yeah.
we're probably doing this wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
So you do your 3 dice hitting me on 5s.
Yeah, because of the disorder.
Yeah.
The same as your.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
2. There we go. Take
So let me take my 2 saves, which I make 1.
Ah.
So now I'm at 3.
And I take 1,
Yeah.
and I need a, what is it, 5?
Yeah.
Or 4s? Oh, no,
5 because they're musket.
5s are muskets. Oh, so
No.
I take 1.
So we both take 1.
Yes.
I'm supporting here.
And I'm supporting here.
No, because he's disordered.
Frick.
So I win by 1 again.
Hey?
So I win by 1 again, but I'm shaken, so I also have to take a test, right? So I win by 1, you got to take a break test, and then I got to take a test for being shaken?
Okay, so we both took 1 casualty.
Yes.
Yeah? You're shaken, so that adds another 1 to you. You're supported, so that adds a 1 to me.
No, the shaken doesn't add to the result. The shaken adds to the result of the break test if I take the break test.
Okay, so I'm
So the
taking
shaken
break
doesn't.
test.
Yeah, the shaken doesn't apply now.
Right.
You are losing the combat, so you take your test, and if you were shaken, that now it does it. When you're done that, so you could run away.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done that, because I'm shaken, I have to take a test because I'm 1
Alright,
over.
so let me
you do
test.
yours first.
I'm
Double
good.
6s.
I'm good.
Fuck.
It's
9, but I'm 1 over and shaken, so it's probably down to 6 or whatever. I think 6 is okay.
So yeah, so it'd be, well, you're 9, so it'd be -2.
7.
Shaken, so you'd be down to 7, so you still stand. So they
I'm
both
still stand, yeah, and this goes
Yep.
back down to 2.
Yes.
It's just weird how that works. All right.
Yep. And do I go back down to 1? Or do I stay at that?
No, see, I'm going back down because you can't go past your
correct,
stamina
you
level.
can't go past your stamina.
Yeah,
Right.
much like had
Yes.
those guys somehow passed.
Yes. So that's it. So,
Alright,
that
so now that's
stands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm barely holding on, but I'm not this battalion or this. I hate using the word battalion because Warlord fixed your goddamn rulebook because you use the term battalion for 2 different things.
Yeah.
So this center core is still above.
Yeah.
This center core is also. No, they're dead. They're alive. They're alive. So they're barely hanging on. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So another couple of turns though, you've massacred them.
Do you want to play another couple?
No, I got to get going.
Yeah.
We had a long day just with the interruptions,
We
which
had.
is fine.
Yep.
But
We've got shit to do too.
yeah,
But at least we've played, and that was the whole goal, right?
7 years in the making.
7 years in the making. 1 trip home for 2 weeks. Got to get a game in. Got to
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been painting these guys nonstop for like 6 months.
Yeah, same. But we both have. This is
Yeah,
what we've done. You and
yeah,
I have done
yeah.
in 6 months,
Yep.
which is a lot.
Which is quite a lot. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
All I've got to do now is glue on pikes and
Well,
flags.
yeah, you were.
and-
Yeah, you could have done that in England, but then it would have been a bitch to
Yeah, yeah.
transport. So there's no way. Awesome. Well, thanks again, man. That
Yeah.
was really good.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks. Even though you did kill some Campbells. Oh, guess what? Your guy lived.
Mungo. Oh,
No,
no,
Roach.
Johnny Roach.
Roach.
Yeah, Mungo died.
Mungo died. Of course, Mungo died.
Johnny Roach. You legend, you.
Next time, it's Big Arm Guy.